Do you ever feel like sometimes photographs just capture a scene and sometimes they really capture the soul of the image? Sometimes photographs make you feel something and sometimes they just don't. Today we're diving into a very emotional topic when it comes to film photography and photography in general. And it's the question of color. It's a question of color film or black and white film, and about how each of them tell their very own story in a photograph. What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For everyone who's new, my name is Tobias. I'm a 23-year-old. No, sorry, I'm 32-year-old, not 23. I wish I was 23. Year-old photographer based out of Cologne, Germany. And on my channel, I talk a lot about photography. I talk a lot about film photography. I talk a lot about the creative process in general. So not just gear-related stuff when it comes to photography, but more about how I approach photography, how having a calm mind and being, in a kind of zen with your own self really helps to enhance your photography. And if you made it all the way to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's video covers a topic which is a well discussed one, not only on the internet, not only in film photography, but in photography in general. And it's about color versus black and white photography. And in today's video, I'm shooting with a very good friend of mine, Jonas. You've seen him quite some time on this channel, and we're shooting a scene in Italy in a very old masseria with like beautiful white walls and a lot of olive trees. And in this video I'm shooting two film stocks only. The color film is Kodak Gold and the black and white film is 400 TX. Both two of my favorite film stocks out there for sure. In this video I really want you to think about your own style of photography, whether you shoot color or black and white, whether you like both or you tend to just like one of both styles. This video should help you to find out which you like best and maybe give the other one a try. But this video should also help you to understand the strengths and the weaknesses of color and black and white photography. Color film. So when starting out with photography, I think pretty much everyone starts with color photography in the first place, because it's just a little more accessible to a lot of people. They can refer to the image a little better. They see color photography as the reality of a scene, where black and white tends to be a little more abstract, a little more timeless, a little more raw, if that makes sense. So let's talk about color photography at first. In this scene in Italy, you will see that we were shooting during sunset at this beautiful white masseria that I was telling you in the beginning, and Jonas is wearing a very nice suit in the scene. So using Kodak Gold as a color film stock really helped to set the entire scene and to enhance the color contrast between his purple suit and the green and white surrounding. So I think this really makes a really nice color contrast in the image. And colors in general aren't only there to show the entire scene, and they are there to enhancing the mood also. So they really let you sort of inhale the scene very authentically, and it's very understandable for everyone to see color photographs. So they tend to show the reality as it is a little more compared to black and white. And at the same time, color photography is able to really, draw your attention to specific details. So in this very scene, you will see that the suit of Jonas is really, popping, as in contrast to the green and white and even blue scenery that is coming from this guy. And therefore, color photography really has the power to, pull you into the scene. It sort of makes you feel like you're part of the photograph. It makes you feel like you can really, feel the sun and the warmth in the photograph. And one of the most important lessons that I've learned in photography in general is how important it is to work with lighting. And when we talk about sunrise or sunset shootings, which tend to be the most favorable circumstances and times to actually take photographs because the light is really warm and soft, this is the perfect time to shoot color film, in my opinion. Color film really shines in warm and soft lighting situations where the highlights are not too bright and the shadows are not too dark. And I think color film really has the power to make something ordinary look very extraordinary and very special especially if you shoot it in the perfect light. And before I touch on black and white film and black and white photography, I want to show you all the color photographs that I took with Jonas on Kodak Gold. Alright, so now let's talk black and white film. I want you to pay attention to how the entire scene changes and how your attention is going to change from the light itself in terms of how it enhances the colors to how it will draw your attention more to the things in the frame that are actually lit up by the light. There are a lot of examples where Jonas is standing in the light and where he's not. So this really plays a huge role in where your attention and where your focus goes when watching the photographs. When Jonas is lit up by light, I feel like your attention automatically goes to his face and to the suit he's wearing, while when he's not lit up by the light, you pay attention to the entire scene. I feel like black and white really forces you to pay attention to the essence of the photograph. By removing the colors in a photograph, black and white also has the power to remove all the distractions in the frame. Sometimes in the photograph there is a lot of when there's a lot of colors going on and a lot of colors popping up, your focus is really, not as clear as if you would see a black and white photograph, in my opinion. And this is because black and white shows the raw essence of a photograph, as I was saying before. And if there is some light in the photograph, it will draw your attention to the light. I feel like black and white is kind of showing you the honesty of a photograph, if that makes sense. And while color photography is pretty much telling you everything about a photograph, black and white forces you more to think deeper about the photograph. We tend to see black and white photographs as a little more timeless compared to color. And I think this is because there was, black and white was there before there were any color photographs. So we tend to associate black and white photographs with very old photographs, but I really would say that black and white tends to be a little more emotional, as it really, you know, shows the raw essence of a photograph. Before comparing color to black and white, let's see the photographs of Jonas on Kodak 400 TX in the Masseria. So, which one is more powerful? Is it color or is it black and white? I think the answer isn't really that simple. It's literally not just black or white. Color film really makes you feel the entire scene, the warmth of Jonas' skin, the warmth in the entire scene. It feels like you're almost in the scene. While compared to black and white, where we feel like we're looking at something deeper, we're looking sort of for the meaning in something. When looking at a black and white photograph, it strips away all the noise and makes you feel the emotion. I've always loved black and white photographs, and I think I will also love them in the future. Black and white has just something very, very special. And when thinking about the future, I will for sure shoot both color and black and white. For me, it always comes to the choice, like, what kind of story I want to tell. Do I want it to be timeless? Do I want it to be very vivid and full of information? Or do I want it to tell a lot? Or do I want the photograph to ask for something? Ask for your attention, to your close attention? Do I want the photograph to ask for your understanding, for your thoughts, for just something? And of course, it comes down to in which lighting situation I find myself in. I tend to shoot black and white when there is not that much light, or even when there is too much light. So like I would shoot black and white during very harsh sunlight during the day. And I would shoot color film, especially during sunrise or sunset, when the tones are just so nice and warm. Short disclaimer, I've also done it vice versa. So I've also shot black and white during sunset or during sunrise. And I've also shot Kodak Gold or in general color film stocks during harsh midday sunlight. And this wraps up the video, guys. I hope this was helpful in any way for you. I'm really curious what you prefer, black and white or color. So if you have any thoughts on this, please leave them down in the comments. And please keep in mind that there is no right or wrong. That's the beauty about creativity and the beauty about photography for sure. It's all about what story you want to tell. And you can decide for yourself. And as I said before, I will continue shooting black and white. And I think I should shoot it more often. I tend to, you know, when traveling, I try to keep things simple and just pack one film stock. So this is mostly Kodak Gold. But I should bring black and white a little more often, I feel, because sometimes it's just a little more, you know, it makes you focus on different things in the photograph. And when shooting an entire scene, an entire story on black and white, when there is no color at all, and you have no chance to really see the colors when you get your scans back, it has something magical to it. Like, you can only remember how it looked like back then, but you will never really see the colors again. And this is something which sounds a little maybe stupid, but sometimes having this sort of limitation, you know, lets you focus on other things while shooting, and it also makes you kind of, you know, a little melancholic looking back and not having the chance to just pull back the color. So thank you for watching again. I'm curious to see your comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this would help the channel a lot. We've reached 5,000 subs with the last video, so thank you so much for everyone who is subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I try to upload a video every week, and it would help me to make more of these videos. So yeah, thank you so much for your incredible support so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.